Folks, do you want a lot more control over your ringer settings and your volume settings for all your contacts? Well, if so, then you want to try this jailbreak tweak out. It is called RingerX VIP, and it offers fine-grained control over how the various contacts in your Contacts app are treated when they call or message you. Say it was really late and you were on call for work. Well, you could set RingerX VIP to only alert you when that specific number, your work number, calls you. All other numbers will be muted or kept silent. What's nice about this is that it works on an individual contact basis, and you can also do the same thing for your messages as well. Now here's one of my favorite contacts. He is Ducky Benjamin, and yes, indeed, he quacks quite a bit. But that's beside the point. Here's what I want to show you. RingerX is in each individual contact, as you see here. So if I open up a specific contact, and of course you see options for both calls and messages, tons of options. But I'm going to just turn on Ignore Mute right there, and you can see my mute switch is currently turned off. So now we're just going to turn the mute switch on, and then we're going to have Ducky give us a call and see what happens. Now remember, for this specific contact, we enabled Ignore Mute, and you can see the little icon indicating that the particular contact will still receive a ring notification even though mute is off. Notice this. Now that ringer was a bit loud, but notice in the settings for RingerX VIP, you can also have a custom volume setting. You can either have one outright, or you can have it anytime you ignore mute. So if ignored, use volume. So you can set your own custom volume. Notice the true ringer volume as I adjust the volume rocker on the iPhone. Notice that. See how high it is? But I can also override that using this setting here. Now watch what happens. See, that's quite a bit lower. That's actually really low. And remember, the same principle applies to text messaging as well. Now let's check out the temporary mute functionality. You can actually set up an activator action to enable a temporary mute for a certain length of time. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I'm going to choose the dual volume press on the volume buttons for an activator action. I'm going to set RingerX temporary mute there in activator. And watch what happens when I press the two volume buttons simultaneously. It brings up the select mute duration panel, and here is where I can set my own temporary mute. And so I set it for 5 minutes. You can see that the ringer is on and the phone is ringing right now, and no volume because the temporary mute has been enabled using activator. So that is RingerX VIP. There are tons of different granular settings you can set up for each individual contact. You have temporary mute, you have custom volume settings, really just a ton of different things you can use to really take control of your iPhone's ring and vibrate behavior for both text messaging and phone calls. Now there is a lot to RingerX VIP, but there's also some excellent documentation to help you through each of the settings. I highly recommend you check this out once it appears in the Big Boss repo. It should be out in a couple of days for $1.99. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. This is Jeff with iDownload Blog.